Abbiamo con noi la bellissima Dita Von Teese qui a Radio Monte Carlo, a Radio Monte Carlo TV. È veramente una donna stupenda, ma immagino che già possiate capirlo dalle immagini che state vedendo in questo momento. First of all, Dita, welcome to Radio Monte Carlo.
Thank you.
It's a great pleasure to have you with us today. This is your second time in a few weeks in Italy.
Yes, it is.
The first time we saw you in this big Cointreau glass doing your show at the Sanremo Festival, and was just amazing, and it was a great show. You're here this time because you represent Cointreau in a worldwide promotional campaign as a fashion icon. What's the big controversial show?
Well, the show that you saw me perform at the Sanremo Music Festival was my original martini glass number that I've been doing for many, many years. And when I became the brand ambassador for Cointreau, I created a new version of that show that you saw on TV, which you might not have seen yet, where it's a much larger scale show with a much bigger glass. And I do the show in my Cointreaupolitan cocktail instead of a martini. And I'm wearing a different gown that's all very inspired by the colors of Cointreau, the beautiful ambers and orange colors of the bottle.
Well, what's inside the glass?
What's inside the glass? Well, I hate to disappoint anyone, but it's really tinted water. It would be quite impossible to do with that much alcohol. It would take cases and cases and cases of alcohol, and probably wouldn't be very comfortable or fun for me.
Okay. Everybody talks about burlesque these days. Your performance at the Sanremo Festival, as we said before, has just stopped the entire country for about 10 minutes. What does your passion for this art comes from?
Well, I always had a very strong interest in the 1930s and 40s, and I dressed in vintage almost my entire adult life, and I watched a lot of films from that era, and there were several films that were based on burlesque at that time in America, such as Gypsy, starring Natalie Wood, and there were a movie with Barbara Stanwyck called Ball of Fire, and so I kind of became interested in burlesque and wanting to know more about it when I saw films like this and heard about the word burlesque. And so really it's a classic form of American entertainment that was fairly mainstream, and so really that's what I'm performing. So it's kind of hard for me to understand when people think it's so scandalous, even here in Italy, to do it on a television show, because it was something you could see commonplace in America back then.
Your love at the 40s is legendary. Do you wish you were born then?
No, not at all. I'm quite happy to be born in this time. I think for a few reasons. I think I like being able to remind people of a time that's gone by with my shows. And I like modern conveniences. I like having my cell phone. I like computers. I like other music than just big band music, I think. And it's just, this is the way it's meant to be. I was meant to be born in this era.
Burlesque is your life. I just can't imagine you wearing something comfortable as a sweatshirt. It seems to me you always want to be at your best. So what do you wear when you're at home?
Well, when I'm home, I think people misunderstand about what it is to be comfortable, I think. And people are so obsessed with the fact that I don't wear jeans or I don't wear sweatpants, but it's just, I just don't really have any interest. I feel like I'm wearing a costume, just like somebody who might wear my clothes would feel really uncomfortable. So when I'm around the house, I usually wear silk pajamas or a slip. I collect a lot of vintage lingerie, so I have a lot of these slips from the 1950s that I wear that I buy quite inexpensively, and I'm comfortable in it. It's easy. I just put it on and walk around my house.